This is your Bitcoin ETF warning. The clock is ticking. The time is literally running out. I know that sounds a bit hyperbolic, but it's true. It's true. Maybe about 50 days left until the big deadline, January 10th, for the ARK Invest either approval or denial. Now, the SEC, of course, could still deny, but the betting odds are dramatically in favor, 90+%. Key analysts are putting it out right now that we will see a Bitcoin ETF approval by that date, which means that it could come tomorrow, it could come next week, next month, or January 9th. We shall see, of course. But that day is going to come when you wake up and the Bitcoin God candle just explodes because the Bitcoin ETF has been approved. And in this video, I have some key updates on the Bitcoin ETF, more evidence showing, more proof showing that we are getting closer than ever to a Bitcoin ETF approval, and some really interesting price speculation on how much money is going to be needed to move the price, how far. And spoiler alert, it doesn't take a lot of money to move the price to insane highs. I want to talk about that with you. So let's first have a look here at the BlackRock news. So BlackRock has met with the SEC this week. James Seifert, who's one of the key ETF analysts from Bloomberg, here saying, here's a couple slides in relation to its in-kind versus cash creation. Based on this, it looks like BlackRock prefers in-kind for the Bitcoin ETF. Now, there's small details we're talking about here. The big thing that I want to point out to you, because this is actually super big news. BlackRock sat down and met with the SEC in regards to the Bitcoin ETF. Now, if you haven't been around the space for a while, I want you to understand something. This has not happened before. I know BlackRock's new to the space, but in terms of Bitcoin applicants actually sitting down and meeting with the SEC, has not happened before. People have been trying to get Bitcoin ETFs for years. I think the Winklevoss twins were the first ones back in like 2014 or 2015. And ever since that time, the SEC has been stonewalling Bitcoin ETF applicants. They've made up every excuse in the book, most of them BS, especially revealed to be BS in the Grayscale case, because the judge said, wait, hold on a second. So you're saying that Bitcoin futures contracts using the exact same price feeds are okay, but Bitcoin spot ETFs using those exact same price feeds are not okay because those price feeds are somehow not okay, but they're okay for Bitcoin futures. And the judge said it's BS and you need to fix it. The SEC is going to approve a Bitcoin ETF. The odds right now are 90+%. According to key analysts, of course. ARK Invest's Bitcoin ETF application coming up 50 days away, guys. Come on, January 10th is not far away. Could be tomorrow, could be next week, could be next month, but it is coming. Now, if they deny, they could still deny that January 10th Bitcoin ETF application, but then that pushes us back to March. But they don't have any good reasons to deny anymore. This is the problem for the SEC. They don't have any good reasons to keep denying these Bitcoin spot ETF applications. And the fact that they're meeting with people like BlackRock says that this is probably coming, because again, BlackRock gets what they want, and BlackRock is now meeting with the SEC to discuss the fine details about their Bitcoin ETF. You got to realize how far the conversation has come. It's no longer about, oh, well, are we going to get it or not? Now the SEC is sitting down, we need to do a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of that, because they're going to approve it. That's what's coming, guys. The SEC this week also meeting with Grayscale. The SEC, and so the Grayscale disclosed it reached a transfer agency and service agreement with the Bank of New York Mellon for its spot Bitcoin ETF. Okay, great. Good news, Grayscale. Soshi Flipper here pointing out, are you kidding me? If this is real, then this is the best evidence we've seen so far that the Grayscale spot ETF is getting approved. Why isn't Bitcoin at 40K yet? The market is a joke. It is incredibly wrong. Yeah, I agree. Grayscale won in court, which basically kicked open the door for the reality that, yeah, we're going to get a Bitcoin spot ETF trading in the USA. And when one comes, they're all going to come. We're going to have like 10 of them. We're going to have the Grayscale one. We're going to have BlackRock. We're going to have all the other big boys coming out and doing Bitcoin ETFs. It's going to be crazy. SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce coming out saying there is no reason for us to stand in the way of a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, you have to understand this is Hester Pierce, Gary Gensler, the big dog, G-Dog, Gary from Goldman, of course. Goldman Sachs alumni, can't trust him. Anyway, Hester has long been a proponent of crypto. She's a big crypto fan, and she has disagreed with almost everything that the SEC has done, except for, the fraud stuff, obviously. But when it comes to stuff like Bitcoin ETFs and a whole variety of other like common sense regulation stuff that the SEC is supposed to be doing, or common sense stuff like, why are you guys suing Coinbase? That's so stupid. Hester has been there saying, guys, come on. In fact, I think they call it like Crypto Mom or something like that. Anyway, that's kind of her nickname. She's right. There's no reason for the SEC to stand in the way of a spot Bitcoin ETF. All of the excuses have been taken away. And if they do deny it, well, then it's just going to be more court cases. Everyone's going to sue the SEC, and the judges are going to agree with everybody suing the SEC. And the SEC is going to be forced at some point to take action because they're acting capriciously. They're not acting fairly, and they are sure as heck not protecting investors by refusing to give them spot Bitcoin ETFs, a product that would protect them from frauds like FTX. Drives me crazy, man. Drives me crazy. As CryptoMax pointing out here, CV sacrificed himself. Send our bags for one more cycle and disgustingly high super cycles, we may call it. ETF just to start. Retail drove 2021. Now we get to see what real institutional liquidity looks like. I have those numbers for you, of course, momentarily here. Pentoshi pointing out why I don't think the ETF will be approved. Experts say 90% odds. SEC is no longer denying but delaying. Something we've talked about a lot here. I think it's a very, very good point. We are not seeing denials. We are seeing delays. We are seeing conversations. We are seeing engagements. Something we've never, ever seen before with Bitcoin ETF applications. Final deadlines are approaching. It's coming. And of course, BINANCE, that big fine, scary. It was a de-risking event for the cryptocurrency markets. It took this sort of Damocles hanging over our head away. It's actually resolution. Former New York Stock Exchange president, money will flood into the industry of the Bitcoin ETF. It's just easy to buy. Of course, it's just easy to buy. That's why it's going to be so damn popular. He says also, Bitcoin's a great invention. It's a store of value. Now, I've got the numbers here for you. I want to break down the numbers here with you. But first, got to let you know about the Black Friday deal, guys. It's still on. We've extended it. Crazy deal right now. Check it out. You can get our premium Wealth Mastery plan. Look, you can get just sign up for free. Sign up for our free newsletter. Our free newsletter is absolutely amazing, super value packed. We're going to the next level here. This is our premium offering. These are your altcoin reports on trending hot altcoins weekly. These are DeFi tutorials, in-depth technical analysis, huge value for airdrops. So many airdrops every week. It's crazy, and much, much more value beyond that. My latest portfolio updates, all kinds of stuff. You can get all that. 6-month plan, locking in that price for a lifetime, by the way, 33% off for the Wealth Mastery plan, 14-day refund, no questions asked if you're not happy, $150 for 6 months, and as a crazy deal sweetener, because I know we're at the start of this bull market cycle, I want you guys to succeed. I want you guys to make the best possible decisions and make truckloads of money. So we're throwing in the altcoin course for free, $297 freaking value for free when you get the 6-month plan. Crazy deal, crazy Black Friday. We're probably never going to do this intensive Black Friday deal ever again, but hey, it's start a bull market. Let's celebrate. Let's have a good deal for you guys. Link in the description where you can find out more or get signed up because the time is running out to take part in that. Now, let's talk about the price prediction. James Butterfill, he said, using fund flow data to see how a Bitcoin spot ETF in the US may impact prices. And he's got a nice little blog here on it. So let's dive into some of his key points here. He says some good analysis has already been done on the former by Galaxy Digital, talking about how much money might inflow. They surmise there are $14.4 trillion of addressable assets in the United States. One could assume that perhaps 10% invest in spot Bitcoin ETFs with an average allocation of 1%, which would equate to $14.4 billion of inflows in the first year. If this were correct, then it would be the largest listen to this, it would be the largest inflows on record, with the largest so far being in 2021, which saw 7.24 billion in inflows, representing 11.5% of assets under management. I have to understand, 2021, 7.24 billion in inflows, and we got to $69,000. What happens when you double that number? 14.4 billion first year. What happens when you double that number? Price goes up. That's what happens. On a proportional basis, though, 2021 did not see the largest inflows. That was in 2020, where we saw 5.5 billion of inflows, representing a higher 21.6% of assets under management as percentage, right? It was also a year where the price rose with 303% compared to 60% in 2021. Now, let's get into the good stuff. What are the fund flow model price predictions here? So, we are looking at 2% of assets under management would result in $627 million of inflows, taking the price of Bitcoin up to $40,000. If we hop down to 10%, we are looking at inflows of $3 billion or $58,000 Bitcoin. If we look at 100%, so we go crazy here, right? We see huge amounts of money coming in. So we would see in this model $31 billion. That brings us up to $265,000 Bitcoin. Now, I want to point out here, because around $18 billion in inflows, remember, Galaxy saying we could see up to that much in the first year, around that much. So based on Galaxy Digital's inflow predictions, along with this guy's predictions on how that could affect the price, we're looking at $173,000 per Bitcoin next year based on Bitcoin ETF inflows. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'll take it. And of course, if you go a bit further down into Galaxy's projections, year 3, they're looking at almost $40 billion. So that would get us $300,000 Bitcoin. A lot of money. You can let me know, of course, if you think that this is an accurate prediction or not, or if these guys are just going a bit too bullish. Maybe no one's bullish enough. Maybe we're at that stage in the cycle where there's so much PTSD from the bear market. None of us are bullish enough on the reality of Bitcoin ETFs coming and of institutions bringing tens of billions of freaking dollars into the market. Let me know down below in the comment section. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching the video.